Hello everyone, good afternoon.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon po, ma'am.
Afternoon,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon po, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, um, so first, no, I would like to explain our task, the task that I have sent last Friday. So it's very important that I have to explain this well because I know that some of you here have questions. And for those who have submitted their work, maybe during the weekends, you can still resubmit your work. So I'll be giving you the chance kasi supposedly no, I would like to explain this first before having or before giving this task to all of you. So as we all know, this is our first examination part 2. Naglisod kog storya people kay busog kaayo ko. Parang naipit na kong tiyan. Hindi ko kaginhawa. Okay, sige. So, this would be our first examination part 2. And our schedule for the first examination would be this coming Thursday. So, sa Thursday na ta mag-exam together also with your other subject which is the EdPLE. So, sa Thursday na pud nato to siya sa Thursday na pud ta mag-exam ato. Ano jud ko karon ba? Sorry gyud nag-stutter gyud ko karon. Murag wa gyud ko sa tempo ron. Sige. So kato lang no. So therefore this coming Thursday we will be having our first examination rather. So mga MCQ na to siya so you have to be prepared. So we have already finished the entire coverage no for the TLE and for the math I guess we only have the remaining topics which are the simple interest and the compound interest. So whether we finish the topics or not, we will have our exam by Thursday. So kailangan na gud na siya kasi nakaset na to siya dito at least dili na ko gusto mag-move pa. So sa Thursday na nato na siya tanan muhaton. And for the task that I was able to give you last week, I guess I have given you two homeworks, 'di ba? Or two activities that I have sent you that you have to solve. And some of you have already submitted that one. My instruction for that was to send your work on that particular day. So for those who have submitted late, of course, I'll be giving minus points no, for the others. Now, I'll be announcing no that even if we haven't checked it yet, I think we would be able to have one session purely on the intention of checking only your work because we need to check your work because I will be explaining also on how we would be able to get the answer for those, especially that I think sent some complicated items of which natingala ko kay naka-answer ang tanan. So medyo skeptical ko dito kasi I assume nga maglisod mo ato kasi ako gani nga teacher naglisod gani ko tapos nagwonder ko nganong naanseran ninyo. Naanseran ninyo kay kabalo ko nga ma-search mo gud siya sa Google. Eh sa Google mo gud to na ko gikuha no. So I really have realized on myself nga dapat dili di ko sa Google manguha. Dapat manguha di ko sa ako ang utok na. So maghimo gyud ko sa tantong dali-dali, mo tong akong nahatag sa inyo ha. So, of course, no, maning kamot ng ganung estudyante nga mangita sa answer. So, we search ang uban sa internet. Now, the question is, nakagets ba mo ato? Let's see. So, we will try to have that one. Why is it like this and why is it like that? And most of you have really got the answers of which lisod man to siya, oy. Naglisod gani kog answer, nangita pa gani kog answer kay ato. Pero, okay, fine. So, naka-answer naman ang tanan. So, ato na lang itong checkan. But I will not record it anymore or maybe, I don't know. Sige. At least. Okay. Kamu na lang bahalag hinuktok ato. Basta, nakita na ako inyong mga answers tanan and you have the same answers over and over. So, all throughout the items. Anyway, sige lang. Sige, so we will have our high cognitive demand task. This will cover first examination and second examination part 2. So therefore, on the second examination, I will no longer be giving you the part 2 of the examination. So therefore, this one will cost of about 2 examinations in one output alone. But actually, no, dili mo gini siya gihapon pod mahuman ninyo kay isa lang kasi duha man yang gipangayo diri. They have two high cognitive demand tasks. So that's the reason I have said nga first examination and second examination na ni siya nga part 2. So all you have to do here is that you have to choose a concept that you plan to teach to your students and preferably the topic assigned to you. However, wala mo ko nag-assign sa inyo ha, so you are free to choose any topic that you like. Okay? And then, after that one, you have to develop two high cognitive demand tasks that will engage your students in mathematical thinking about this concept. So, for example, you have chosen the topic ratio. So, we have to be specific ha. If you say ratio, ratio lang tanan. When you say proportion, proportion lang tanan. So, let's have one concept at a time. So, isa lang ka topic. Okay? So, for example, you have chosen proportion. So, the proportion itself, you have to choose two high cognitive demands. Kung mayong ganitag two high cognitive demands, nagangad-hangad na lang ko storya, kay naglisod ko storya. When we say that one, we are referring to activities that requires higher order thinking skills. If you are familiar with HOTS, that is what we are going to do here. So, in short, likayan na to nga magpahimo tag activity nga ang buhaton sa bata identify, choose, MCQ, MCQ. Likayan na to na sila kasi those activities are part of the LOTS or the lower order thinking skills. So what are we going to do here? So HOTS man kaya ta, our activities should be analysis, evaluation, judgment, creation, performance, and anything else. So, ginana siya. Kasi HOTS man. Pero, dalawa. So, if your topic is proportion, you choose two high cognitive demand tasks. So, two tasks. So, ana siya. Which would relate to proportion. Okay? Next, for each task, provide a 3 to 4 sentences as rationale justifying why the task qualifies as high cognitive demand. Be sure to cite reference theory in your justification. So what it means to say is that you have to provide at least a rationale or an explanation of why the task that you have chosen as a high cognitive demand task is used. So for example, proportion ang topic, ang first high cognitive demand task nako is performing or performance. Tapos, mag-providing kong rationale. This activity is what we call as performance. This will test the intellect of the student for its blank, 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 char. So, ginana siya do. It's a mere justification of the task. So, ana siya. So, you have to be sure to cite reference theory in your justification. You already know that one kasi you are doing your own research. Kabalo naman na. And we have here, you will be rated using the criteria below. That's 100%. So, we have here our format. Our format should have a title. So, it must reflect the name of the proponent. So, in the title also, no, that will also reflect what's the topic that you have chosen. You also have the rationale. Kabalo na mo, say rationale, grabe po. After the rationale, you have here the steps and procedures. Okay, and the point system or markings. For the steps and procedures, this will talk about how you will be able to implement the activity to the students. Maybe you could have it in a narrative form, or you can have it in a step-by-step form, or in a bullet form, or in a number form. It depends on you. For example, step 1, blank, 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 blank. Step 2, mga inana ba? That is what we call a steps or procedures. So you have to provide the procedures of what you have done or what you have given to the students. And lastly, we have the point system or markings. Point system or markings, this will talk about your assessment. How are you going to assess or how are you going to measure the performance of the student? So we could have rubrics. You can have rubrics. You can have checklist. You can have, ano pa ba? Criteria. So you can have that one. However, I am not recommending you to use criteria ha. Kasi when you have the criteria, like such as this one, clarity of challenge, so on and so forth. Actually, this is already a criteria. However, it's not specific. So it's not so good to be used if ever pag ano na ta. Lisod kayo, di ka ka-specify ba? So it would be better if you use your rubrics. Ana lang siya. So, mura na inyong buhaton. I'll be giving you enough time to do that one. I'll be giving you the Google Drive link. So, since I have posted this one on the Quiver essay, so what you are just going to do there is you just have to type your name. Type na lang to ninyo inyong name tapos isend ninyo. Kaya para pag mag-score ko, makascore ko sa inyo ha, dito na. Pero you have to submit this one on the Google Drive link. I have decided na wag na lang sa essay. Kasi kung sa essay magud mo mag-submit ani, ang ending ana, pag mag-end na ta sa atong klase sa ato ang term, wala na ko'y collection. So it would be better nga sa Google Drive na lang nato siya isend para at least pag mahuman na ta sa ato ang klase, at least na agihapon ko'y collection. Unya dali ra pud nako siya ma-monitor. Ayan. So ana na lang. So my only yes, yun son.
Ma'am, what if ma'am kanang naka-submit na dito sa ano ma'am?
Oo,
For instance.
nakasubmit na. Sige. It's your choice, no? If you are going to resubmit or if you want to edit or whatever. Basta, dito na mo send sa Google Drive link nga ako ang i-provide pohon. So, pwede ra to siya niyo pangbawion. Kung nag-send na mo dito, okay ra. Hindi ko mag-score ato. Pwede
Thank you,
ta mo,
ma'am.
pwede to ninyo usbon. Kasi, wala pa mong ko naka-explain good niya. As much as I wanted unta to mag-explain last week, wala na nako na explain jud kay mula gina na busy jud ko last week people ay busy gani ko this week pero sige na lang muning kamot ta. Ana na lang siguro dito na ako mag-base sa kung asa man nato na ipang drop. Ana basta if ever pag ma-open na ang drive, always remember that you have to name your file on your name. Last name, tapos first name. So, ana siya, always and always. Anyway, I'll be giving enough instructions on how you are going to do that. Ana na lang.
Ma'am, excuse me po.
Yes, Rachel.
About po sa title, ma'am ba, unsa ba na ibutang, ma'am, if proportion, ma'am, proportion na ibutang? Ano lang ang title, ma'am, napa siya mga adlib-adlib na iingon.
Depende na sa inyo ha, kasi I'll be giving you freedom on how you are going to do this one, specifically on the title. So, maybe you can have your title in a separate sheet, tapos butangan ninyo siya og ang title niya is proportion, then ang imuhang name. So, depende na sa inyo ha, kung unsa inyuhang style, as long as makita lang na kung ano siya title, rationalis, steps, procedures, and point system. So, pag nana siyang upat, okay na ko ana. So, kamo na bahala unsa na ninyo kay I will not restrict you on how you are going to do your activity kasi I know that we have different styles mo po no and different preferences. So, kamo na bahala ana basta as long as makita na ko ng upat, okay na ko.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Ana. Sige, other concerns. Wala na. So, I hope that is already okay ha, para wala na tayo problema, ana. So, lato na lang ninyo ang drive link. Na, kay dito na ninyo siya i-drop. Para ma-uniform tang tanan. Okay, sige. So, since we are done with this one, let's move on to our okay, let me just pilit na din sa kilid. Sorry. Okay, wait lang. Okay, let's go to simple and compound interest. Okay. So, actually, no, this is very simple. Simple jud kayo ni siya ay. Kaso, sa sobraan ka simple manggod, nakalimot na ta. Sayon na kay ni siya. Pero sa sobraan ka sayo, nakalimot na ta, or malimot na, or naglisod na. So, I'm really expecting everyone know that kanang nagyutay mga weakness sa ato ang math, and sometimes we even forgot the most basic concepts of math, of which the most basic should be the one that we have to master kasi mauna man gyud na siya no, mao man gyud na ang manggawas, mao man po na ang ipang tudlo nato sa mga bata. So we should not show any weakness at all. Okay, let's go with simple and compound interest. Let's have a warm up first. Oh, wait lang. Okay, tara. Let's try solving this one. Find 6% of 400. You try to solve. Then we have the chat box on the right side. You can just type your answers there. 406%. How much is that? That is how much? That is? Ilan na? 6% of 400. Sige,
24,
uy.
ma'am.
24.
24, ma'am.
Okay. Abi na ko, wala na gyud, wala na gyud mo tubag. Wala na gyud ani. Naunsa na, naluya na lang pod ko. Naunsa na gyud. So that is 24. Okay, we have 2,005%.
100, ma'am.
Okay, let's have 2,000 times 0.05, that is 100. Next, 704.5%.
31.5, ma'am.
31.5. Loading kayo nga ko ang akong PowerPoint sa iPad ay murag nadaot siya sa yang animation. 325 and 5.5.
17.87, ma'am.
We have 17.87 or 17.88. Ayan. So, muna na siya, no? We have 24, 131.5, 17.88. By the way, no, do not forget that if you see that in the problem, you see an off, kanana gani mga off, and off. Kana siya, mo na signal ninyo nga dapat mag-multiply mo. Imanaan gina ninyo. Pag nagani mga of, pasabot ra gyud ana, pa-multiply yun mo. So, ana na siya. Okay. Nadaot lagi sa animation mo nang loading tayo. Okay, so let's go now to simple interest. So, the simple interest, wait lang, paludingon sa naglupad pa siya. Okay. When you first deposit money in a savings account, your deposit is called principal. So, I guess everyone knows here already know what's the movement of money, especially if we are going to deposit something in the bank. So, we have the principal. So, the bank takes the money and invests it. In return, the bank pays you interest based on the interest rate. Simple interest is interest paid only on the principal. So later on, no, we will also be discussing compound interest and we'll try to see what's the difference between them. The only difference of simple interest, Manggol, is that simple interest is simple. Simple lang talaga siya. Dito lang siya nakuha sa principal, nothing, wala na. Wala na siya gikuhaan og interest nga iyang gibasihan. It's only the principal. When you say the principal man gud mo ni imuhang initiating money or mo gyud pinakauna nimong kwarta. So for example, if you have 10,000 pesos and you are going to deposit that one in the bank, it only means to say that 10,000 pesos is your principal. Iyang muna ka na gani yung pag mga abot lang kung nag-a-appeal mo anang mga di man na bubuay ang tawag anak kanang sa bukid bitaw na mag-amot-amot sila.
Maluwagan.
Dili paluwagan.
Sosyo, ma'am, sa ma'am.
Sosyo.
ma'am.
Sosyo ba? Di ba sa sosyo, maghatag mo magkwarta na sosyo. Unya, dati na yung mga tawag-tawag na mga di ba sa bukid, usok na siya sa bukid. Kung dili kwarta, baboy. Kung dili baboy, kay kuan. Lahi-lahi, depende, no? Sa sosyo-sosyo, kay tinaapong isa ka term ana uy di Dili siya buay na ba yung isa ka term nang Bisaya jud
Sa
kaayo.
punungan, ma'am.
Silingan na sila ni sosyo kapunungan. Ah, ba letter B to siya. I forgot nakalimot na ko. Bugsukay. Bugsukay. Letter B lagi tama lagi. O bugsok ba or bugsukay. Kasi diha man gud no kay mohatag man ka anag kwarta. Tapos kamong tanan nga tao nga naghatag og kwarta kanan yung kwarta ipautang na da sa uban. Tapos mo di ba na mga mag-anak-anak na siya, niya, ang uban kuhaon niya ang anak. Ang pasabot sa anak isang interest or na interest gikan sa principal mo imong kuhaon. Actually kana man gud siya no, that's a plain example of simple interest. Munang gamay ra pud kaayo usually ang madawat nimo nga interest. Kasi sometimes it is fixed and sometimes it's not. So much better unta to kung compounded gyud siya. Kasi kung sa compounded mas dako mo kag makwarta compared sa simple interest. So the simple interest is just so plain. Isa lang gyud siya. Principal, interest, money. Principal, interest, money. Or your total money. So ana lang gyud ang iyahang subay. So, di kay kakakwartaan. So, we have here our simple interest formula. I stands for the interest. P equals principal, the interest rate per year, and the time in years. Always remember, pag T ganina siya, people, isa rin pasabot na niya. Years lang talaga yan siya. Dili siya pwede sa months, dili siya pwede sa weeks, dili po siya pwede sa days. Okay? So, ang time sa formula sa interest is always represented in years. So, ayaw mo ka-confuse kasi later on, ako ano siyang ianoon niya, no? So, permitting na siya in years, good na. Dili na siya pwedeng mahitabo nga mahimo na siyang represented by months. Kasi naman ko ginaingon nga, how much would be the interest or how much would be the total money if the money invested is run in 6 months time or 7 months time. So, ikaw po nga syunga-syunga siya, o baga nagunahon na, 7 dayon imong ibutang sa time. No, kasi if we are going to replace 7 months in time or letter T, that would mean 7 years. So, years talaga yan ang T. Okay. Suppose you have a deposit of 400 in the savings account and the interest rate is 5% per year. Wala pa naglihok ang screen. Sana ni? Wait lang. Ato ni. Pagka na lang yun, signal gitarong ba? Saglit ha, kaninggahi na ang okay, lang. Ang ko kasulak diri agud eh. Nada ba akong screen or nipilit? Pilit no.
Pilit siya, ma'am.
Pilit na siya. Paiksiton sa nako niya ko ang isa kay ako ang iPad eh. Mo ko pwede dira sa ano sa tong kaugalingon nga screen kimura ko ugma dili ko makasulat-sulat. Malagot ko. Wa na gid siya Wait lang mo exit sa kadali. Leave the call sa ko kadali ha. Okay, sige. Wala pa nag-load. Yun, nara. Tingala ko, loading kaayo. Nakatanaw pa gani kong voice over flowers. Dugay ba? There na lang, ano na lang. Okay, so we have here our problem. Suppose you deposit 400 in a savings account. The interest rate is 5% per year. So find the interest earned in 6 years. Find the total of principal plus interest. Okay, question dira ano is, ang iyahang gustong makita is ang iyahang principal o ang iyang interest. So therefore, we are talking about the total amount of the money after 6 years. So, we have to be very careful ha. Pag mangayo og interest, interest ihatag. Kung mangayo sa total amount, ihatag ang total amount. So, we have to be specific in answering. Kasi, sometimes, diha kalibog-libogon sa sobra ka sayon sa question, ay no. Sa item, ug sa pag-solve, sa sobra ka sayon, mali na ka. Kay naglisod na kaghatag, unsa ang dapat ihatag nga answer. So, let's have this one. Diri na lang ta kay para di ta ma-loading diha. Kay lagot ko diha. Our principal is 400. Our rate is 5%. Our time is in 6 years. So, what do you call this one? Formula is I equals PRT. This is just the same with I equals P times R times T. Maura ng istorya ha. Itapad lang na sila. Y paglubad. So, you just have to replace. You have I equals 400. You have here, this would become 0.05. And then, you have 6. So, I equals, naman 400 times 0.05 is 20 times 6. And that is I equals 120. Pag mangayog interest, tagaig 120. Kung mangayog total amount, hala sige, 120 plus 400 equals 520. Kung mangayo siya sa tibuok na tanan, hala tagaig 520. Ana lang siya ka sayon. So sayo na kaayo. Smooth. Pwede lang mata-matahon, siga-sigahon. Anyway, no, namanggoy time ba nga dili na nato kailangan nga mag-alig pata sa formula. Labi na og kanang maglisod mong memorize kasi ako kay ko maka-memorize ba labad kay ko kung ulo anang mga memorize usually. So, you have here the easiest already. So, at least makita ninyo. Sige, next. So, 520 amount in account after 6 years. Now, figure interest in months. So, this is what I am talking about. So, remember that T equals T in time is in years. So, find the interest earned in 3 months. Okay, the same ha. No. Okay, so this one is in 6 years. However, what if we still have the same? We have P equals 400. You also have R equals 5% or 0.05. And then you have the time of, we have 3 months. Question, how are we going to solve this one? Saan na ron? Kung ang time kay in years, tama na siya ni Moron. We have to sige, what do you think? Tama na to na siya karon. Kung ang time diri kay by year ni siya, ang gihatag sa imuha is 3 months lang, unsaon nimo pagkuha sa exact time? Ano may buhaton nato? Ato siyang i-divide by pila. Pila man?
12 po, ma'am.
Okay. We have to divide 3 by 12 in the sense that in 1 year, we have 12 months. This is just the same with having like this. We have 3 months times in 1 year, we have 12 months. Therefore, cancel months, 3 times 1, that's 3. 3 divided by 12, that will be, by 12 is 0.25 or 1/4 of the year. So in short, 3 months here is 0.25. Now you solve. So solve ng kadiretso ay equals PRT equals 400, 0.05, and then 0.25, and then you multiply 400 times 0.05 times 0.25, and that is 5. So the interest now is 5. In 3 months time, ang 400 mahimong 405. Ana lang. So yung makita nimo siya karon. 120 kung 6 years. Kung 3 months lang, buto na hunaon 5 ra gyud ang iyang tubo sa tulo ka bulan. So ana lang na siya ninyo do. So from years, you have to transpose it into from months, you have to transform it into years. Always remember that if we have years, kung naa ka years, kailangan ang ubos ana niya kay months. Next to month kay weeks. Next to weeks, days. Sunod sa days, hours. And then, seconds. So, ana ang imuhang unsay tawag ana gani? Changing of units pa. How about if we have weeks? Say for example, 3 weeks. So, syempre, sama na nimo, 3 weeks times in 1 month na ay 4 weeks times, para ma-remove ang month, we have here in 1 year na ay 12 months. So, that will become equals. So, kuha na dayon nimo, cancel, cancel, it will give you with year. So, we have here 3 times 1, that's 3. 3 divided by 4, 0.75 times 1 year, that's 1. 0.75 divided by 12, that is 0.0625. This is now the value of time in years. So, ana lang siya. Transpose, changing of units. Kasi dili lagi ka pwede nga ang 3 weeks, ibutang na siya nimo diha nga, idiretso nimo siya butang diha nga ang time nato naka years man siya. So, for example, asa naman to? Pila ganito? We have 405%. Sige, let's try. We have here a principal of 400. Our rate is 5% or 0.05. Our time is in 3 weeks. Okay, sige, let's try to solve. Di ba sa 3 months, 5 pesos man to ang iyahang tubo, remember? Sa 3 months, ang nakwarta lang nato nga interest is 5. So after 3 months, ang atong kwarta would be 405. So that is if it is in 3 months. How about if it is only in 3 weeks? Pila kaya ang matubo sa tong kwarta nga 400 pesos? Okay, so let's go here. So we have 400, 5%. Okay. First, we have to transpose or change the units of weeks into year. So, sama na nato. O, dara, o, mo na ni dayon. Kani. 3 weeks times o na, changing, scratch. Tapos, we have now the 0.0625. So, that would be our replacement. So, let's have I equals 400 times 0.05 times 0.0625. Tama ba? Ayan. So, you try to solve now. So, interest equals 400 times 0.05 times 0.0625, and that will be 1.25. So, therefore, in 3 weeks, maora ni ang tubo, 1.25. So, after 3 weeks, ang imong kwarta mahimo, 401.25. Ana lang. Same with the hours. Same lang na sa mga days, hours, seconds. It's a matter of how you change units. Tomorrow gid na imuhang timan-an permintino ang mga changing of units. Na-gets ni ninyo wala? Gets na?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, sige. Kung na-gets na, you have to remember that the standard, okay, dere ha, for years, if we have 1 year, months na tong standard is 12. Ang weeks nga standard sa math ni siya ha, math ni siya is 4. Ang days is we have 365. Ano, 365 in 1 year, pero 30 days in 1 month. 30 days in 1 month, 365 in 1 year, okay? Tapos we also have hours 24. Seconds na to, pila man? Ay, minutes pa gani di ay. Okay, wait lang. Minutes na to is pila. We have 1, di ba no? 1 minute is we have 60 seconds. So, muna siya ang mga standard gyud nato. If in reference to the year, malisod na tagkat-kat sa ibabaw nga, mayroon ka nga 60 seconds in 1 year. So, lisod ka ayo no, magkwenta pa ka. So, you start from scratch. If ever manggani nga mag-changing ka og unit. So, ana siya. Okay? Anyway, I will be giving you an example. Yes, Edwin?
10 minutes ang isa ka 1 hour.
Sa 24 hours no, sa 1 day, you also have 1 hour. So, sa isa ka 1 hour na atay 60 minutes. Nalibog na ko. 60
Thank you, ma'am.
1 minute, we have 60 seconds. So, ana. So, libog siya sometimes. It depends man gud sa imuhang pagkuan, no? Kanimo kung 24 hours na to is in reference to 1 day. Ani ba? Reference to 1 day. O na siya nga na 24 na ko. Tapos, in reference to 1 hour, kung iyaha lang yun is we have the 1 hour. So, for the minutes alone, in reference to the hour, we have 60 minutes. But in 1 minute, we have 60 seconds. Murag ana, manggo na siya. So, depende na ninyo. Saan ninyo siya pag-interpret. Basta ginana siya ang ato ang pag-changing of units. So, dili ka pwede nga mo, diretso lang ka cut-cut. So, you see here, that for example, our changing of units from weeks to years, di ba taas kaayo? We start from weeks to month tapos going to the year. So, cut-cut ka pa ibabaw. So, that's it. So, nauna na siya ninyo. Okay? Sige daw, let's try to solve one time. We have here our principal. Say, for example, we have 565. Our rate is 7% or 0.07. Our time would be, let's try, 5 days. Question, how much would be the interest and the total amount? Sige, you try to answer daw. Sige, do we have the answer already? Wala pa. Uy,
Yes po, ma'am.
sige, what's the answer to this?
Ang interest po, ma'am, is 0.588 G. Tulo lang ka decimal. Okay lang po na siya, ma'am.
Sige, tapos,
Then, ang total amount po is 565.588 po.
565.588. Okay,
588.
sige. Alright, let's try to check. Anyway, no, the first thing that you have to do is to convert days into years. So, kasi dili man nato na siya pwede mahilabtan si days kasi nga, days man siya, kailangan years, yun siya. Kasi kung diretso ka, mahimo ng 5 years kung indiretso na to. So, let's try. So, you have here 5 days times and we have here atuang kuan dapat diri si days sa ubos kasi para ma-cancel na to siya and month ang naa sa ibabaw. So in 1 month, we have 30 days times para ma-cancel si month ipaubos. So we have here year. In 1 year, we have 12 months. But that's it. So you have to cancel, 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 cancel. Year na lang ang nabilin. So 5 divided by 30. Kapait, wala tayo calcu. 5 divided by 30.
6, ma'am.
Okay. Have times 12. Times 12 times 1. Wait lang, wait lang. 5 divided by 30 times 1 divided by 12. That would be 0.0138. Okay. 0.0138. Sige, let's try to, ano daw ba? Kaya basig na wrong ko. 5 days in 1 month, we have 30 days. Tapos, 12 months, natay 1 year. So, 0.0138. So, mauna na siya karon. So, we have here, I equals 565 and then 0.07 and then 0.0138. Solve. This will be 565 times 0.07, 39.55 times 0.01. Okay, that's 0.54579. Okay, sige. So, mo ni siya ang atong interest. Tama ba sa inyo, ha? Or pwede ra mag-answer mo og 0.55. Okay na na. Buhi na mo na. Sige daw. Subaya daw inyo, ha? Same mo answer, dili. Wala. O, sige daw, be. You can raise your hand sa mga nakakuha sa interest nga 0.55.
Ma'am, pwede mag-ask.
Yes.
Diragan is sa 5 days, ma'am. Ano ne? 5 days times 30, ma'am. Ba ko?
Dili po siya ma times 30 kasi dili man na nimo ma-cancel ang yang unit nga days kung dili mo siya ipaubos.
Excuse me po, ma'am.
Sige daw.
Ma'am, okay ay sa kuan mo gudon kay giagi na ko siya og kuan lang, ma'am, sa weeks pa, ma'am, before mag-month po.
Okay. Sige. Let's try daw, ha. Kaya basig na wrong lang pod ko. 5 days. Niagi pa kag weeks. Sige.
Yes po, ma'am.
We have week. And we have days here. So, we have in 1 week, we have 7 days. Times ang week sa ubos, sunod, month diha sa ibabaw. So, in 1 month, you have 4. Tapos, month sa ubos, year sa ibabaw. 1 year, 12. Sige. Cancel, 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 cancel. 5 divided by 7. Tapos, divided by 4. Divided by 12. 0.014. Maura maghihapon. 0.138 man na oh.
Malahi,
0.14. Pe kaso,
malahi na siya sa final po, ma'am.
walahi na pod siya. 0. Mahimo siya nga 0. Mahulog ni 0.15. Maraga ana no. Pero duol ra siya. Sige daw ha. Let's try. So, we will have a fix for this. Sige. Kung 0.014 0.0148 siya, mahimo siya nga pila. 565 times 0.07 times 0.0148. 0.585. Okay. Sige, 0.585 or 0.59. So, 0.59. Kani inyo ha ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sige. Sige. So, we'll try to prefer this answer compared to 0.55 for the reason that we have to go through with the week pa pala. Sige. Mo siguro na yung nalaking diriya. Okay, diretso na lang ko og month. Pero actually, duol raman ang iyahang answer kung boto na hunaon. Pero if you have to be specific, this would be 0.59. So, ana lang siya. But anyway, no, kaning ani nga mga scenario is tagsara man gid siya mahitabo. Pero if ever gani no nga if there might be cases manggod that if you will be given the choices, tagaan mo duha ka choices. It's either naa si 0.55 or si 0.59. So, narigid sa duha. Dili man na sila magdungan og pakita didto Usually manggod no the most nearest answer magid ato ihatag diya. That's the problem with decimals also. But if we have to be specific, this would be the one, 0.59 compared to 0.55 kasi dire ako ang mali na pita Kasi nalimtan ako nga naa pa man di tay weeks nga adtuan. Wala na to siya na apil og kwenta. So ana lang siya. So at least makita ninyo kung unsa gid ang iyahang movement, ang iyahang pag-move and transposition of units. So ana lang siya. Hala, hapit naman day. Okay, do we have questions? Ano ba tayo mga questions diha? Do we have? Wala naman siguro, no? Okay, sige. So, if there is none, so, kana lang sa siguro, and then we will continue this one on Wednesday na lang. Okay? Sige. So, see you later on TLE. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye,
Thank you.